YouTube. How's it
No,
going?
it's
Nice to see
going.
you again. We are
And you,
here.
and you, and you.
We are here for our one of many battle book reviews. For this year's balance update for Ninth Age. This is Warriors of the Dark Gods. I am Lucky Sixes. This is Hyper G.
Yes, definitely not lethargic for being at the end
Let's
of the alphabet.
get
We're
this
fresh.
on. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Whoop,
Yeah,
whoop.
we're pretending this is when we're most enthusiastic at the start of the recordings. Definitely not the last one
Well,
or anything
saying
like
this,
that.
I'm pretty enthusiastic about seeing the Warriors changes. I'm
Mm,
intrigued by the Warriors changes because they are always a popular army. I think that's
they are
traditionally
always,
speaking, rather than
always.
necessarily how OP or not they are.
Hmm.
But they have some solid choices. So I'm intrigued to see what gets good treatment, what gets bad treatment. So
Yeah, no, that's
um,
always, yeah, very true.
and they are one of my armies, so I've got that
Mm,
going for me. We are here to look at the Warriors, as I've said. There is only points changes, no rules changes, although we will look at the hereditary for something that goes on there.
ooh,
Um,
okay.
as with all the army books, there are fluff added in, which is awesome. We are very, very impressed by that, and especially
Mm,
with the maps, the mappage
yes, I
really
agree.
goes a long way for me. Um, so it shows you where they are around the world.
It's
Or
an
the
intriguing shapes that they're forming or pattern that
it
they're
is,
forming
isn't
there,
it?
like the circles that they ignore. Yeah, really, really interesting. But let's see. So the warriors of the Dark Gods are an army of brutal fighters devoted to gods who seek the end of civilization itself. Marching to war in hulking armor, they are accompanied by barbaric peoples living beyond ordered nations, and great beasts from the wildernesses where warriors congregate. Implacable, merciless, and expert in the art of bloodshed, a warrior throng in its full dark glory is a vision to strike dismay into the hearts of the most stalwart opponents. Hmm.
Yes, very
To the
nice, and
point.
yes,
That is, yeah,
yeah, one of the
that
shorter
says it,
ones.
doesn't it?
But don't
Hmm.
worry, folks. If you want a bit more, not only is there some predominantly going around the seven, which is
Hmm.
the thing, which is very very cool, very very needed in a book like this.
I,
I think.
I think it's such a good stroke of genius going along those lines.
Yeah,
The,
yeah,
the
totally.
deadly sins and all that. I think that's
And
brilliant.
a little bit more about the chaos and creatures of the wasteland, etc. Go check it out. It's very very cool. And obviously with Warriors in particular, there's other books and stuff to whet your
Hmm.
appetite if you're so inclined. So go
Yeah,
check it out. Throughout the book
such a
as
good
well,
story.
yeah,
Hmm.
there are other snippets. So while the model rules haven't changed for anything, you will see little additions like the snippets here and all the unit entries as well. So go and check those out. And tell us what you think. We're very intrigued as to what everybody thinks. Whether you think it's a great idea to add it in or it's just a waste of time or whatever. We certainly don't think that, but that might be something that a genuine opinion from people. So let us know, good, bad, or ugly, what you think, and what your
Snog, marry, avoid.
favourites.
Yeah.
Yes, what your favourite bits are, and what bits maybe you're not so keen on.
Hmm.
Otherwise, we'll go straight over. As we said, there's no rule changes, so we're going to go straight to the hereditary, where we see a price decrease on the
Oh,
smaller
gosh.
hereditary hellfire. I'm very pleased by this as a Warriors player.
I was going to say,
um,
yeah, get your
yeah,
perspective right. Yeah, because
for
I'm
sure.
not.
Because the 2D, I mean, I guess the 10 for the 2D6 does seem quite a lot considering it's AP
Is
naught.
that increased
However,
or is that
no,
changed?
no,
That's
that's
just
still the
still 10
same.
up.
It was always 610, but the
Hmm.
5 on that's
2D3.
virgin. We're virgin on one dice territory there, um, for
Yeah,
masters. So yeah, I'm
yeah.
intrigued to see how that will change people's opinions on that
Yeah, and
spell.
often as well, the AP0 isn't massively holding you back because the stuff you're targeting isn't highly armored anyway.
For
Generally,
sure. Yeah, when you're taking it.
monsters basically that are
Yeah.
at best got a 4 up, 5 up. Um,
Especially if you
and
can
two D
marry it with,
three.
say, an
Yeah,
alchemy mage who might not need the
yeah,
AP or in certain
yeah.
matchups might need this. So Yeah.
I think the 5-up would be massively fair if it was the target suffers D6, because that's less consistent than 2D3.
Do you think?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, obviously you could spike and get 6, and that would be horrible for your opponent. But you could also get 1, and it's like, oh, okay, I've only lost 1 dice to it or something. But
Okay.
because it's consistent and 2D3, you're going to get 4 probably. And so, yeah, I think this is a real good thing for warriors, and
Yeah.
to be feared,
No,
especially with 1 dice.
I
Yeah.
like it for sure. In terms of the special items, Symbol of Slaughter as a weapon's gone
No.
cheaper.
No.
Yeah, man, all those attacks a
No.
lot cheaper.
What?
Very very impressed with that. The armor
How much
enchantment
was it?
gladiator spirit 35 to 30, so not a lot. Only 5
Okay, but
points there.
still. Yeah.
Gladiator spirit similar job 40 to 35. Zealot's
very
banner
good
of
as well.
course has gone up 50 to 55, and Wasteland Torch has gone up from 30 to 35. So
you were the one that
5
first
points.
started taking Wasteland Torch, weren't you?
Well, yes. When
Everyone else copied
core.
Lucky Sixes.
When it could be
Oh,
used on
right,
core
okay.
as well.
Okay,
But
yeah.
otherwise, we're looking like 5 points here and there and everywhere. Ledger of Souls has gone down from 50 to 45. I quite like it as a thing. And Wordstone has gone down as well. That one I'm very impressed with, because it was an item that you sort of, if you can fit it in before you do. And at 10 points, I think you're going to see it a lot more.
Definitely going to get it
I like
in,
that. Yeah, I like that a lot. Characters. The Exalted Herald, one that normally gets changed around. No change.
Okay. It's got this rich sweet spot.
Seems to have reached the sweet spot there. Chosen Lord has gone down as a base cost. 285 down to 275. I do think that's quite nice for people that used a Chosen Lord before.
Well, how can it go down?
Where the increases have been is the Idler Spike and Demonic Winds. So Idler Spike goes up from 70 to 75, and the Wings goes up from 55 to 70. That was used quite a lot more recently to give it a bit of mobility as well. In terms of the favors, we've got a bit of change in some of them. All of them kind of evening out from what their different costs were from before. So, Envy is now 20. It used to be 30. Greed used to be 10. Is now 20. Pride used to be 15 and is now 0. This one
that's cold-blooded, isn't it? Minimized discipline.
Yeah, I'm super keen on that, because I think Pride seems to be one of the best ones. Sloth goes down from 35 to 20. And -1 to wound on a Chosen Lord. It's pretty decent. I'm not gonna lie. Wrath
for 20 points.
30 to 20 as well. Lust stays as one of the 3 options, and Gluttony stays as one of the 20 options. So you're either paying 20 or 0. So I quite like that as a concept. Although for the most part they've been brought down to 20, which is quite nice. The Chosen Lord getting cheaper. In terms of mounts, the Karkadan and the Black Steed have changed. Everything else stays the same. The Karkadan goes up from 90 to 110, quite a big change there. The Black Steed going up from 115 to 135. So where you've seen the decreases, I think they've come in the more popular mounts that have been used for it. So and it's basically, it has been made cheaper for infantry, but any way to make them quicker, so demonic mounts and the mounts themselves have made it a bit more expensive. So they want to keep it on the board and keep it in a certain area. Is the plan.
And with Pride, it's not going anywhere either.
For sure. I think you're gonna see a lot of Pride at 0 cost. I think you're gonna see a lot of Pride. The Doom Lord gets a bit of love, 355 down to 340. Excuse me. And the Waste and Behemoth going down from 210 to 200 base.
I think he's definitely like the unloved child of the character section, isn't he? So yeah, I'm not surprised by that.
Old
at all.
James will be very happy. James McDonald loves this thing, and he's
Forlorn.
as well. So he'll be
Forsworn, not forlorn.
whatever they are.
Whatever they are.
Yeah. The sorcerer itself stays the same. Again, it's only the mounts that change. The Wasteland Dragon, who's always called the Wasteland Dragon, goes down from 375 to 365, whereas the Battle Shrine goes down from 270 to 260. So some slightly decreased mount costs. Otherwise, all exactly the same.
It'd be interesting to see if they tempt people into taking these mounts a bit more.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, is it enough?
As you can see, once again, from the Barbarian Chief, in terms of the characters, they're looking at the mounts more specifically than the characters. The Barbarian Chief, the War Deers, Dyers, goes down from 55 to 50. The Black Steed goes down from 85 to 75. Dark Chariot down from 130 to 120. And the Chimra down from 165 to 155. So all the 4 changes, a Shadow Chaser and Wasteland Behemoth, staying the same. Otherwise, getting cheaper.
Yeah. First among the tribes of the Barbarian Chieftains.
Feldric Ancestor stays exactly the same. It's in a good place. With that, especially with the double point weapon items. And as we said, the mounts, rules-wise, all stay the same.
Yeah.
Apart from, there is a change in, I didn't realise that,
the Behemoth.
in the Wasteland Behemoth, the additional limbs on the Behemoth have gone down from 35 to 20. So that gives you an extra march rate, which I was seeing quite a bit on this. And I quite like that a lot. So
that's really cheap for such an increase to your march, isn't it?
Yeah,
14 to 20, an extra 6-inch march. Is massive.
You do lose a pip
armor
of
as
armor.
well.
You lose a pip of
armor. You lose
so
a pip of armor. Right, yeah. That makes more sense.
You're lighter, basically. So we move on to core, and as you will see, we were dressed differently. We had a little break in real life, but we are back.
Yes.
And
slightly longer than a 5-minute break.
It was. So yeah, essentially, we realised at this point in the previous video, we didn't have all the information. We do now. So it's all good.
Yes.
And
yes.
we're gonna...
and it's also combined with a hotfix, isn't it? Now?
Yes, there is, which is only one change, but it's still the most up to date.
And it didn't affect the thing we'd already previously recorded in the other half of the video, so that's why it's okay to tag on.
Yeah. So it shouldn't. Everything we've said should be completely up to date and ready. But let us know if it's not, and then change it. Put it in the comments. Otherwise, we're just gonna move on as if nothing ever happened.
It didn't. Nothing happened. Imagination.
Yes. Speaking of which, we move on to core and onto the warriors. And the bit in terms of points changes, we stay the same, apart from the favors, which is something that's going to happen across the board, and you'll see much more of. So envy stayed the same, gluttony stayed the same, greed changed, and is now. Well, it's now 8 points. It used to be 7, so that's gone up. Lust has gone down from 5 to 4. Pride has gone up from 1 to 2. And Wrath has gone up from 5 to 6. Otherwise, everything stays the same.
It's probably expected in terms of Pride getting more expensive. Wrath
for sure.
They're your common ones, I would say. I mean, from an outsider point of view.
Yeah. And in terms of the Lust one, you only really saw it on the units of 10. So it doesn't really make a big difference, maybe 10 points off. Fallen stay the same. Barbarians stay the same apart from the Spear and Shield and Great Weapon options, which both go down a point. So cheaper Barbarians across the board. Yeah. Well done. Not by much though. Kind of, I see why that they're only gone down by 1, but maybe throw in a shield for automatically. Come on, give the Barbarians some love. The Horsemen don't change whatsoever.
No love for them.
Warhounds go down by 5 points for the original cost for the special option, I guess. No, these are just cool, aren't they? They don't have to be.
No, and if you stick at the 90 points,
I am right.
Special. Yeah. No, so you're not wrong.
So these faithful canines, anyway, go down 5 points for the special option, but go up 2 points per model for the extra. So actually go up by, what do we say, a point?
Single point.
A
Yeah,
single point.
it's going to
for...
mess with the bang on 4,500 people.
Yes, yeah.
I
I would say I quite like the OCD-ness of the 90 and 10 approach, and actually
nice.
some of the other approaches overall across the board. Warriors have done very well, but not to spoil. Speaking of doing very well, we're on to the Warrior Knights, and while some warriors choose to remain on foot, these guys do not. And in this update, they've got a significant update, I think. With its base cost, additional points, and favour entries all changing. So, in terms of the base cost, it goes down from 255 to 250. The additional models do go up from 33 to 35, I think, because you were starting to see a few 10-man units quite a bit. In terms of the favours, and I think what's best, going to make it easiest to do, is just say they're all 3 points now, so that a lot of them go down quite a bit. Every single favour is 3 points, apart from Sloth and Wrath, who are 5 points. So this is something that, I mean, we touched upon the Chosen Lord, but in terms of all the favours, they're trying to make it as even as possible across all of them.
Yeah. I mean, it's quite a hard thing to do, to adjust the points for when every unit entry has got 7 different variants. That's quite hard to get right, I have to say.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I look at this and I think to myself, Warrior Knights weren't necessarily something that I thought needed to get cheaper because they were blooming good anyway. But I'm very much aware of how difficult it is to price a single unit entry that has 5 different variants, and that's only when you factor in favors. There's also the unit size, the unit base cost, everything else. It's a really hard book to point, and I'm still surprised though that it's got cheaper quite a lot.
And it has really, apart from Pride, which goes up by 1 point, and Sloth, which goes up by 1 point to what we've mentioned, everything else gets a lot cheaper.
They get eaten up in the fact the unit's cheaper. So it's a great time for Warrior Knights still.
Yeah, it is. The Warrior Chariots is a 10-point decrease, so ever so slightly getting in there. You didn't see too many of them, so they're
not known for their crafting talents,
No. They're not warriors.
Seems a bit harsh. Throwing that into, you've only got 3 sentences to put in your fluff, but you're going to start off by insulting them and their crafting abilities.
Yeah, I mean, it goes on. Perhaps it goes on to say that what they are.
Maybe it said they're awesome after that. I don't know. I didn't read the rest.
Who knows? Go check it out, guys. Go check it out. Chosen. So this is obviously a nice one for me. One I always look out for.
Close to your heart.
Yes, the additional models have gone up by 8 points per model, so that's about 40-point change, which is a shame. However, that's the initial shame because, once again, all the favours have changed to be as unified, I guess, as possible. Now, all the favours are free, apart from Greed and Wrath, who are now 7 points per model.
Now, and they got reduced from what they were.
Yes, they did. So all of the favours got reduced regardless of what it was. I mean, probably most significantly, the Wrath, actually, down from 14 to 7. Greed also from 12 to 7. So overall, if you look at it, it's a 40-point increase for the models, the base models themselves, but a 70-point increase for Wrath, for example, which I'm very excited for. So 30 points cheaper. That's a banner, baby. So yeah, I'm excited for that. That's really good. Overall, Chosen got better.
Yeah, I mean, considering how good they are, and they are very, very good, they don't seem to be that popular. So, kind of, maybe that's why they've ended up getting cheap. Maybe that was the Warriors' plan all along. If we have a really, really good unit and just don't take it, then it will get cheaper in 3 years' time.
And it will, that certainly helps me out. While they're in special favour of the Dark God, they're not with most of the players. But yes, so Chosen get cheaper. Chosen Knights, the base cost gets cheaper, which is a surprise because these were super popular units. The Chosen Knights additional model goes up from 112 to 120. So again, OCD is wonderful. Well done. And you've basically got a half and half split between the favours. So you got Envy, Gluttony, Lust, and Pride, although Pride was before, are now 3.
Yeah.
Whereas Greed, Sloth, and Wrath are now 5.
Yeah.
So again, a unified approach to the favors this time round in this update. And we'll see if that makes any change.
We'll see if that unified approach is easily broken. Time will tell. And the best way to find out is by doing something like this. So the champion's gone back up to the same as every other champion would pay, even though you don't gain the extra HP. That's an interesting one. Yeah,
which is I think why a lot of where you're trying to get the cost back, right? From everything, because most of them do go down.
Champion.
Yeah. I think Chosen Knights are going to stay about the same sort of price with all the peaks and troughs and everything, and I think maybe the champion will push it over the edge. Now, interestingly, similar with the Chosen, you don't need a champion to get the favour, so maybe there's that as well. But yeah, Chosen Chariot goes down by 10 points.
I was thinking the Warrior Chariot was getting a bit of love. His main rival gets 10 points cheaper as well.
Yeah, technically, I guess. Although less percentage-wise.
Inflation here, there.
Yeah. But once again, the favours are a thing. So you've got Envy, Gluttony, Lust, Pride, and Wrath, although Wrath was before, are now 3. Whereas Greed and Sloth are now 30. And I'm pretty sure that's...
a lot of reduction across whichever one you were probably taking.
Chosen Chariots, I mean, every single one of them got cheaper. So overall, if you took one before, it gets cheaper, and if not, maybe it's time to look at the Chosen Chariot.
So what you're saying is that the Chosen Chariot benefits more than the Warrior Chariot.
Not even inflation.
It's not even no.
I mean, once again, I used Chosen Chariot quite a bit, so this is very, very exciting for me. Personally. Over to Chimra, and we see a change in just the base cost alone. That is down 200 to 190. Yeah. So again, like the Warrior Chariot. Come on. I mean, you're getting into the realms of really decent Jaff at 190, especially with the wings. I mean, it can march 20 anyway, so.
Yeah, I think it's really cost effective. I mean, a lot of Warrior players will say, well, there's better things in the book, and I can't argue with that.
Yeah.
But the cheaper it gets, the better it gets for what you get for it. 5 strength 5 attacks and March 20. And
I mean, that's another thing. It's a decent support. It's a decent chaff killer on its own, because it is large as well, so it would get stomped. I mean, only 4 HP. Armor 4 up, but it is res 5, so
it's not going to be easy to take out.
No, I think it's pretty good, and I think it does realm on the versions of the cheaper it gets, the more cost efficient the chaffness gets as well. Wretched One's no change.
No, okay.
Surprises me.
I mean, they're not quite as popular as they were for that 6-month period, but they're not. They're still a pain in the backside. The Forsworn, I think that's right I say, have gone down by 5 points per model for additional models. Otherwise stay exactly the same. I thought they needed a bit more love, if I'm honest. But I know James likes them a lot, which is good. But I thought they needed, considering other units have got cheaper, this was a unit I thought might get some tweaks. Not necessarily cheaper, but something different.
I definitely feel like some of the ones that didn't get taken as much haven't been given the same treatment as the ones that got taken. I mean, Chosen perhaps are the exception to that.
Yes, I would say so, yeah.
But Feldrax say the same.
Okay.
Good pace, I guess. The Battle Shrine, now 310 points. Yes, absolutely right.
I'm getting the hang of this.
So, well, I mean, seems to be across the board. That whole thing. However, Flayers do not get cheaper. Flayers get more expensive. They were 145, they're now 150.
Yeah, it's a steal for what they can do.
Yeah, still March 20.
Even with that, it's a steal. And Vanguard,
Agreed.
It's a steal.
Flayers
it changes your entire turn 2. There's a reason I say turn 2, because turn 1, it's obvious what you're doing with your flayers. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Totally.
good.
So yeah, up by 5 points, but otherwise the same sort of thing. Helmore, rules and stuff say the same. The actual price
Down 10
for
points?
it, no,
Oh,
down
I knew it.
15
I was
points.
getting too cocky. Yeah.
Down 15 points, but
Yeah.
still a very interesting unit in terms of what it does. It does exactly the same sort of thing. Down 15 points. I think it could have gone 10 more, if I'm honest. And even make it an even 300, and let's see it in play, because then you'd see it. Then I think that's 25 point difference.
It takes a very different army list to play with a Helmore.
Yeah.
Like, it's a completely different warriors list when you're playing a Helmore list.
Totally.
So I like it being in the book, but it's quite a difficult one to get your head around. So, yeah.
Yeah, and there we go. Forsaken one says the same. Marauding Giant says the same, and that takes us on to the changelog. Oh no, there wasn't actually. Sorry, Feldrick Elder stays the same.
The most
Despite
expensive paired weapons in history.
Yeah.
Justified.
But despite growing to an enormous size and power as they age, it says the same points.
Yes.
Which takes us on to changelog, and the changelog is over 2 different pages, so go check it out if you wanted to look at it specifically. But it also in there you can see the hotfix change, which was it wasn't there before. The Chosen Knights,
they were clearly too expensive.
I don't know,
mate.
I mean,
not enough people were taking them.
It's my army, and I'm pretty happy with the changes across the board. To be quite honest,
at what point in this video do I need to trigger Cluesy by saying they're point and click?
They are.
Is it now?
Yeah,
is it now? Oh, okay.
Now for sure they are.
Now or never, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I didn't think Warriors needed this much love. They've got it.
I mean, we'll
come at me in the comment section.
If you look, let's just look at this. I mean, a decent sea of green, if I'm honest, especially the second page.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
So overall, it's a buff. I'm afraid you say what you like. Warriors got a buff. So
I massively did. Yeah.
Let us know your thoughts on the changes, and are we just being stupid? Are we missing something massively where it's not
resentful and bitter? This is one of your armies.
I'm not bitter. I'm excited. I'm containing my excitement for how many chosen I'm going to have on the board now.
Yeah. How many chosen warhounds? Yeah.
Well, exactly. But let us know what you think of the points changes for this year, and
the hotfix.
And the hotfix. Was it that really big hotfix thing that they used to do? Let us know on your thoughts. Let us know, or go check out all the other battle book reviews. Let us know your bit of fluff as well. It's one thing we're doing for a lot of them. Let us know your fluff favourites, and go check us out on Facebook, etc., Patreon if you're that way inclined, and just hit that notification bell so you get every good PTG goodness that you could.
All of it. Spammed with PTG goodness.
The rest of this year, and obviously for years to come.
Whoa. Oh, that's heavy.
It is. It's a commitment.
Good stuff.
That I'm not sure I can keep to, but we'll try it.
We'll try. So long as you comment.
Absolutely. Because it does make a difference, and it makes
Massively.
us, it helps us, and everything like that. So, but that's the Warriors of the Dark Gods review. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, see you later.